So for step 5, the drive gear, we need to grab a number of these parts. We've got the bearings and then the little guy, and of course there we go, there's our E-clip, the 850 bearing, the 1150 bearing, ball connectors, and then of course this propeller joint, and then of course this other gear, which is right here. So what we need to do is put this together, but they're also showing you putting the front damper mounts together, which is where those ball joints come in, and then of course there's these pieces here that we need to attach those ball connectors to. So I'll set this up and let's put together these pieces. Maybe we'll start with this first and then we'll move to the gears. So you'll notice with this that it's going to be opposite. So one, we've got the back piece that just looks like that. It will focus that facing backwards, and the ball connector is going to attach that way. So I'm going to actually use my box wrench and I'll just put that into the hole, and we're going to start screwing this in and then try to get it level as we go. There we go, yes. So one of the things to make note of as well is that this is going into soft plastic. So do not over tighten. Just make sure that it gets to the end, but don't over tighten it. You don't want that stripping out. So there is one, just like that. And I'll just do one little turn more with it, but that is correct. There we go. So then with the other side, we're going to have this part facing front. Same again. I'll put my ball connector into here. We're now going to have it facing front and do the same thing. So I'm going to line that up. Yep. And then just screw that in. There we go. So now that one is in. Actually, I can tighten that one up just a bit more too. There we go. So they'll end up looking like this on both sides. So that part is done. So now we can work on this part here. So if we grab our, what do they call it? Front propeller joint, we need to get this E-clip onto this middle one. So if you look at, this is the wider side. The E-clip needs to fit closest to the larger flat spot, I guess you could call it that. So we need to get that onto there. So we'll grab our tweezers, and I want to make sure that that's pretty much where it's supposed to be. And there we go. So there is our E-clip in place. So now we can grab our, it's a 32 tooth gear. It shows that the backside of that should have a bit of grease. So we'll grab our grease. And stick a little bit on there. Grab our gear, slide that through just like that. And on this side, we're going to have that 850 bearing. And again, I'm not going to grease it up because it is a metal bearing. I'm not using the bushings, the plastic bushings the kit comes with, or I guess with these ones they put in the brass bushings. So there we go. And then on this side, it's showing the other bearing going on to there. So it looks like that. And I believe that's it. So that is what it's going to look like when you finish step 5. And then we've got our connectors. So step 5 is complete. So now we're going to move on to step 6, which is attaching the drive gear.